Bon dia! Thursday in Hannover, fourth day of the week and consecutively also the fourth day of the Hannover Trade Show 2026. We are delighted that you joined us again, and if you cannot get enough of us, then I have a bit of a sad news. It's the last day of Live and Interactive this week, but we have a fix for that. So if you want to get to know more about automation technology, the options are almost endless. You can watch first and foremost this show, also the shows from this week and from the past exhibitions on YouTube and on our website. So we have all videos stored there for you, so you can get some information about the ED series terminals, about our cameras, about our software products, about EtherCAT, about all the embedded PCs, industrial PCs which we offer, and everything else in between. The second option, maybe a little bit difficult for some of you who are watching from a bit further away, you can come around. We have exhibition today and tomorrow. It's only the last day of Live and Interactive, not the last day of the trade show. The third option, you can make an appointment with one of our local Beckhoff colleagues. Beckhoff is represented in over 70 countries around the world, and I'm pretty sure that there is a Beckhoff office close to you. So feel free to drop us a message and then let's talk with each other. Let's have a coffee over your application, about use cases and about live and automation technology in general. The fourth option is that you just drop us a message right now. You can send us a message in the chat, or you can write us an email to meet@beckhoff.com to book your personal appointment with one of the Beckhoff colleagues today, which are also here on the exhibition. So maybe we can make a small video call and take you around the booth tour. And last but not least, there's also one option which is, I think, for right now the best one. You can just enjoy the last show of Hannover Messe 2026 from the Beckhoff booth, the last Beckhoff Live and Interactive from this trade show. And for this we have invited some wonderful guests, as always. We will talk about business development with Johannes and Frederike. We have Michael with us, who will talk a little bit about vision software and also about hardware. And we have a look, and that's what I'm looking forward the most to, at the XPlanar system and the configuration process. But first and foremost, we started with it on Monday in this week. We have to talk a little bit about industrial controllers. There is no Beckhoff trade show without industrial PCs, and there is no Beckhoff trade show without the next step in industrial PC performance. On Monday we had the C4000, which, I have to correct myself there, has a 12 megahertz CPU, and now we are standing in front of our latest, greatest devices with Felix. Good morning, Felix.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining again. A stable guest here, which I am very, very happy about. We want to talk about IPCs, and hybrid processor architectures have been a big topic there. What does that actually mean?
Okay, hybrid architecture actually means that you combine different kinds of core architectures into a single CPU chiplet. So you combine, in many cases, like a few very high performance cores.
Like the classical I-cores.
Exactly right, yeah. The classical core I-cores, and a bunch of lower performant, let me call them efficient cores, right? And actually that's a big task, sometimes a big issue for us and for our customers, because now you have to distinguish between those different core architectures and all these instruction sets which are different, and the cache architecture which are different actually.
So you have to make sure that the right task is assigned to the right core.
Exactly right. So both the operating system scheduler for the user mode plus the programmer for the application for the control has to consider which thread fits perfectly to which kind of core architecture.
Okay, what does this mean beyond that for our customers?
Yeah, maybe to take a step back, of course there's not only disadvantages, right? So if there's applications where you combine high performance controls with big user mode threads, then you can use those performance cores for your control on, for example, an isolated core with TwinCAT 3, with TwinCAT core boost, also boosting the core frequency and the clock frequency, plus the user mode threads highly parallel on those efficient cores available. But everything gets much easier now, actually, because on this show, first time here in Hannover, we show the Intel Core Series 2, so new generation of core processors without hybrid architecture.
And that's also very, very close to my heart. But before, but I think like sometimes we have very performance-intensive applications. The XPlanar system is one of them. That's why I'm always a big fan of pure performance core architectures where we have as much gigahertz as possible. So we have Intel Series 2 processors, so not generation 14 or 15, but Series 2. What's so special about them?
Yeah, it's exactly right. So I mentioned some advantages, some disadvantages of this hybrid architecture. Of course, there are many applications requiring high single-thread performance on as many cores as possible. And that's exactly the answer for this. So
typical XPlanar use case.
Yeah, typical, exactly. So we have new processor generation integrated in our compact industrial PCs, also in a bunch of ATX-based PCs, covering these Intel Core Series 2 processors, codenamed Bartlett Lake, talking about base frequency of up to 4 gigahertz.
Wow.
Talking about boosted frequencies, also including TwinCAT Core Boost functionalities with up more than 5 gigahertz on a single thread. And we talk about maximum of 12 equal cores in these systems.
So a really small device. We talked yesterday with the AX guys, with the motion guys, about the book size design. I think that's also a book size design, but with up to 12 cores with more than 3 gigahertz of single core performance. That's very beautiful. But just to cap it off a little bit, or to cap it to wrap it up a little bit. This is the high end of our C60 portfolio. Let's just for our dear visitors and our dear watchers have a look also at the whole variety. So there is Intel Atom CPUs. There is also here in the middle we have some of those hybrid architectures as well. So it's all about scalability, right?
It's all about scalability, and the message is easy. We can state that we do have a perfect fitting PC for nearly all kinds of application. Also in the future with hybrid architecture, without hybrid architectures, with all these wonderful features in TwinCAT, in our BIOS, in our operating systems. Okay. So full scalability and flexibility for our customers.
Thank you so much, Felix. Have a wonderful day with the wonderful, very pretty PC. So we talked about design with the C4000 on Monday, and they are still looking very, very well. So enjoy that, have a good day. So it's all about scalability, it's all about performance, providing you with the right device for your application, with a good performance in the right form factor, but also not with too much performance, because then you would actually be overpaying. So it's all about keeping you in the lead, and this, in the best case, leads to a good development of our company as well. And this is something Roland, Johannes and Frederike are going to discuss.
Yeah, and on Monday we were not only talking about the C4000, our very first industrial PC, we also had the honor to welcome our German Chancellor, so Friedrich Merz was on the booth. We were actually honored a few times because our former Chancellor, Ms. Merkel, was here, and then also Mr. Scholz, another Chancellor, was here, and now Friedrich Merz. But the very special thing was that we as a company decided that not Hans Beckhoff welcomed them, it was Frederike and Johannes Beckhoff who were able to say hello to our German Chancellor on Monday.
Yes.
Now, this is the third biggest economy in the world, so this is the Chancellor of the third biggest economy. Have you been somehow nervous to meet him here on our booth?
But
no.
No.
No?
Well, now,
No, let's be honest.
yeah, okay, let's be honest. So if we are honest, I think the 2 weeks before we are quite nervous from time to time when we talked about it. But actually,
never prepared so much for saying something.
Yeah, really, we're well prepared. You know, it's not our strength to say always something straight to the point, but at this point we only have like 5 minutes sharp, so we needed really to keep our time. And at the moment when he entered our booth, it was like super relaxed. Also a Chancellor, he gave us a really nice and comfort atmosphere together with his wife. It was really, really nice. And in the end, we realized, and I mean it in a really positive way, that our Chancellor also is only a really kind human being. So it was really nice. He took away all the things which made us nervous before.
Excellent. But you kept him longer than expected. I think it was more than 5 minutes. So what have you done that he stayed longer than the scheduled 5 minutes?
So I think it took us to explain everything. It took us 5.5 minutes. Okay, 30 seconds longer. And then he also said something and asked questions. So
yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah.
But the secretaries of him, which were joining along him, they were getting nervous and they were just like saying, you need to go. And I was like, okay, talk faster.
Yeah. But I'm happy that we have a chance to be in dialogue, because at the end it's all about listening to each other, talking to each other. That's where everything starts, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm happy that you took the chance and brought your message.
Yeah, it was really a great honor for us as well.
A day later, we had a press conference and we took a look into the business numbers of the company.
Yeah.
I think the people who are watching us probably noticed that the last years were, let's say, a bit kind of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Now it's relaxed a little bit more, it's moving up again. So what are the results of Beckhoff Automation last year?
Yeah, so 2025 has been a good year. Actually, as we predicted, we were able to grow a bit, which was really nice, about 6%, reaching a global sales number of 1.24 billion euros. And especially after the last year where you all, I think you're quite aware of, we had really like a kind of a crash down after the exceptional good years before. So it feels like we are back on track, and also if we are looking at the results of the first quarter, I would say we can really give a positive outlook on this year because we probably will grow, let's say around 13 to 14%. That's the goal we are having, and for now it looks quite positive, so let's see. Yeah.
Any specific growth factors or regions or businesses or branches you have in mind for this coming growth?
Luckily, we see that the growth is distributed among all regions in the world. So this is also always a very good sign that every region is growing. Of course, everybody sees it at the moment a little bit. The Chinese industry is growing a lot. So this is also our biggest growth region. In terms of industries, again, lucky. Yeah. Every industry is growing, but of course there are special industries which are growing exceptional, and there we are counting, of course, the semiconductor industry as well as energy infrastructure and of course data centers.
Okay, I mean we are really fortunate that our technology can be used in almost every industry, so we're not limited to one or the other industry, so whatever industry grows, we can grow with them.
Yeah.
I should take these two products with me, which I should pass over to you. So now, are you keen on this? I mean, it's a terminal and it's a, let's call it black box. So why do you want to have this product here on this live stream?
Because I find this product exceptionally interesting. Of course, I find all our products really interesting, and of course, all our new products and really revolutionary products like MX system, which will be one of the main sales drivers in the future. What we really truly believe, as well as artificial intelligence, which changes a lot. When it comes to how to do the engineering, but also how to do automation. But those are two really good examples that we are also focusing on hardware products, maybe not that interesting for everybody, but which are really interesting for special industries. So we are talking about intralogistics is growing a lot, energy infrastructure is growing a lot, and here we have two good examples for exactly those industries. So the MDR controller box, which is especially developed for intralogistics, for conveyor belts, so for rollers. And here we have a product which looks like a switch, but it's actually not a switch because this is a 12-channel energy measurement terminal. So you also see that besides going for the revolutions in technology, MX system, AI, and everything else, we are also going for evolutionary products, which will also contribute to our sales in the next year and also the next couple of years.
Okay.
And if I may add this, Roland, what I really like about this product is that I think from my point of view, we're also showing that we are really listening to some needs from certain industries. And that's what we did here. Exactly, you also said it for the intralogistic industry. So we have a lot of products which we would like to show on a general base because we think it's suitable in almost any industry, but also sometimes, or I wouldn't say sometimes, often we try to listen to certain industries and customers' demand, and this is one of the results.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Now, you gave already a buzzword was like artificial intelligence. The developments there are starting in the brain, more or less, or on the desk. These products need to be produced. So if you want to grow 13 to 50% this year, maybe next year, hopefully as well. So what are our plans to fulfill this growth even in our company?
Yeah.
We can produce the products.
Are you going to start?
Normally, you always
It's always about the decision who starts. Yeah, okay. I'm the older one, so I start then.
Let's
okay.
go ahead.
Obviously, there are many things inside the company in terms of how we are structuring ourselves, how we organizing our production, and especially AI. You mentioned it is really one of the most important topics also for our internal way of working. And there we have set up different groups of thinking about, okay, how can we redefine basically the world of how we work? Because I really do believe, or we all do believe, that adding AI to our internal tool, let's say chain, can give us much more efficiency and can make every one of us better in simply what we are doing. So yeah, generating basically the same turnover with the same people, growing in turnover, but having this the stable workforce. I think that's really one of the future things we are focusing on.
She took all your arguments now, or anything to add now?
Yeah, of course. because of course you also asked for production because we're earning most of our money actually with hardware, with electronics. We are of course also expanding our production. So there's a big new facility which we just opened, more than 70,000 square meters on manufacturing floor actually. So this will be partly for our central warehouse, but also of course for our production. So for example, our cable production is already moving into that facility to grow the business over there.
Yeah.
So I think our customers can really rely on us that we of course develop new products, that we're here for, to show the new products, but we're also able to produce products. Important message. Now this is day 4 of the trade show. We had a lot of meetings, we met customers, we had talks. Is there a highlight for you if you take a look back to the last 3 days?
From my point of view, it is like the Hannover Messe is a place where the world comes together in peace. And really it doesn't matter, or it does matter in a very positive way, what your origin is and where you're coming from. And it's always a place where I think the world shows that we can peacefully work together and we all share a common motivation and also a common goal we work towards too. And this is something I really like about this international community here in Hanover, because so many crazy things are going around in the world. But here, for at least 1 week, all of this doesn't really exist, because we're here sharing, I don't know, the ability of producing and developing new products and technologies together, and that's what we have in common, and that's what I think that's my personal highlight. Yeah.
You said that, I think you earlier said already that the MX system is a kind of a highlight still. Is this your personal technology highlight, or how would you judge this?
I have 2 highlights. So, and also the the international community which comes to this place also agrees on those 2 highlights, I think. So even though I showed the MDR box and also the power measurement box, I think the 2 highlights again this trade show are MX system and AI, of course, because also they are a little bit maybe the same, because I think also MX system is like AI for hardware, because a lot of engineering gets replaced by the MX system, a lot of installation gets replaced by the MX system, same as for an AI. And of course artificial intelligence, which will be one of the very big futures, and also one of the key technologies for all future automation. Here we show how we really integrate it into the machine, and not only by programming, not only by generating text or anything like that, but by really controlling in real time the machine. And this is something which shows where it's going.
Yeah, perfect. I had another highlight this week. I was really looking forward to interview you as the second generation, but on Monday at the highlight to already talk to the 3rd generation. A little bit young, but I think we can say this, Frederike, that you're a mom since a couple of months, and your son was here on Monday.
Yeah.
So it's so amazing. Has this changed your view to the world a little bit, being a mom now, and of course with your husband also, he's a dad, so it's a family. So has this changed something?
Actually it does, because I think what drives us, what makes us get up every morning and go to work, and I think there is another really additional big motivation for me now, because when I'm looking at my son, I always see there is so much, as I already said, positivity in the world. There are so many good things, and we need to address and focus on those way more than on the bad things. And my son, for me, and also you're the uncle, you became uncle for the first time, I think he's a good reason for us to really work hard to provide a safe, secure, and a positive world for the next generations. And we at Beckhoff, we are really convinced that what we are doing is something where we can at least tribute something for a positive world for the next generation. And it's somehow got more into depth, I would think, positively wise.
And you also see he's only 7 months old, and he's already getting in touch with automation technology on the Hannover trade show. So we're already training him.
Yeah.
You should say that he used one of my IPCs already. He started to play with.
Maybe he's going to be a PC product manager. Who knows?
And I'm really happy to see this, because at the end, this is also something which has to do with trust. Reliability. I mean, these are core values of our company. I think these are values we'd like to share with our customers on a business perspective, but also in personal life. So congratulations and good luck. Thanks for being with us here. I think you need to meet customers now. So thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And let's move back to pure technology, and we go to Felix, and he has an XPlanar highlight with him.
And we took the visit on Monday, of course, as an inspiration to show you one thing which is actually child-proof. And this is the configuration and the commissioning of an XPlanar system. I'm very delighted to have another young colleague with me here. Nico, thank you for joining me. We have here our wonderful XPlanar starter kit. 2 tiles, 320 by 320 millimeters, one beautiful mover, a nice PC. How do we get it running?
So, our configuration process includes 3 main steps. It takes less than 5 minutes. And how about I give you a quick demonstration of it?
Okay, clock is running. The first step is the scan, right?
Yes. So the first step is to scan our hardware to actually know what kind of hardware do we have and how many do we have. For this we can go into our I/O tree, add our EtherCAT master, select the port where the hardware is connected, and then just automatically scan and get all of our information that we need.
Okay, so this is the same principle which would also be working for our I/O devices. Yeah, so the EtherCAT telegram basically starts in the PC, then goes through all the attached devices, and then you sometimes discover an XPlanar, but it could also be a bus coupler with an I/O terminal. So very, very straightforward principle, a classic Beckhoff technology.
Exactly.
The second step is the configurator, right?
Yes. So now we have to tell our system how is our arrangement of our system. For this we have our graphical configurator. And if you open it, it looks like a chessboard in the first place.
Okay.
But actually it is our coordinate system.
Okay.
And you can just place your tiles in the exact spot where the layout is and select the serial number, so our system knows which hardware is at which position.
Okay, so you select the tiles, arrange them in the way you like, and then you tell the system, okay, this is BTN L9YQ, and this is another one. And then we have all the participants. How about the movers?
For the mover, it is quite similar. We go just next to it on the mover tab, and we can just place our mover on top of our tiles.
Okay, and last but not least, we have to take care of the arrangement of the performance of the PC, right?
Yes. So for that, we can select our reassign module button, and so we can have a perfect CPU balance, so our performance is exactly on top.
Also automatically done, completely childproof. Okay, now we have set the table. We need to get things moving now with the motion UI, right?
So now we are able to move our mover without needing any line of code. So first of all, we have our environment view, where you can watch how your movers are moving and how they are acting in the system.
Nice visual interface.
Yes, as a visual interface. And you can also command your mover and move each axis individually.
So plain jogging X, Y, but also the other degrees of freedom. You can jog the C axis, make a full rotation, bolt your tool to it, get a feeling for how does it behave. But I think there is one more thing which we can also do with it, right?
So for more complex sequences, we have our sequence builder. There you have a toolbox, and you can just take your move to position commands or move your X commands, and also maybe build in some waiting times, and you can build yourself some own testing sequence.
Okay, just like video editing. And we have prepared a small motion video for you, which we are now executing. So a couple of move position and move C commands which we are aligning, and then you really can almost simulate the behavior of a machine on a small car without a single line of code, right?
Without a single line of code.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, this is how you can commission an XPlanar system. Thank you so much, Nico. Have a wonderful day here with the demo. See you later.
See you.
So, that's something which works almost for everybody, I would say. And let's see what generative AI can do to that as well. Even though the XPlanar system is a wonderful actuator, we typically also need some sensors in a machine. And the most versatile sensor of any type is the human eye. So we have not addressed the topic of machine vision yet, and that's why Roland is already in the starting line with Michael to talk about TwinCAT Vision.
Maybe this is the reason why you started with see you later. I could add alligator. Now, vision products is something which we have displayed a few times already in our live stream. Our cameras, objective, our illuminations and lights. So a portfolio which we developed over the last couple of years, which is ready and available. That's why I would like to go back now again and take a look into the TwinCAT Vision software. The software product is also available for many years as a TwinCAT function. And the topic we're talking about now goes right back into our feedback from LinkedIn because somebody asked for vision. And so we have, not by accident, we have invited Michael this morning. Hello, Michael.
Morning.
We talked about TwinCAT Vision already a few years ago because this is an existing product. Now it's time to take a little look into applications and updates. So let's start with an application. You brought an application with you. What is the use case of this application?
Yeah, it's from the company Benzinger from Pforzheim in Germany, and they produce, among other things, a machine for producing jewelry rings. So the machine is equipped with a magazine with different materials and different diameters, and then according to the customer order, which size and diameter and so on, they cut it and can also widen the ring.
Okay, so have you been ever there and you could took a little gold bar with you?
Unfortunately not. Maybe I have the chance one time, but yeah, the challenging part on this is that the material can always look different. We can have different defects, different dust or thawing leftovers and so on. So it's a quite challenging task to do it rule-based. That's why we took an approach with our machine learning creator and simply trained a model. And after one optimization, it worked very well. So we can directly integrate it into the machine. So now we have a camera from us taking a picture. Then we have TwinCAT Vision acquiring the image, pre-processing it, executing the model, and providing the final result that the machine can pass or skip a bad part quite early in the production and not wasting any costs producing bad things.
So we were even possible to integrate the latest TwinCAT features, like all the agent features, into the Vision product as well. Excellent, huh? Now you're also updating, or let's say improving, the possibility to capture pictures, and you got an example here as well. So what new software functions are available now?
Yeah, with the latest release, we implemented a new and optimized template matching function. That's what we will see here now. It's detecting also rotated objects. Okay. And we also provide a function for dot code reading, which is a special code used in food and beverage and tobacco industry. And we provide a function based on a trained neural network. So we can all detect the codes in an image. Okay. So you only have to load it and can directly use it and get all the code positions in the image.
Okay, so basically we'd like to give the customer the chance to basically identify every object he has, more or less.
Yes.
All right, there's another application you have prepared. Let's take a look and let's go to the workbench here. We had the camera and the objectives already before. Now we have here something which we call a unit, which actually combines all the hardware product into one product. And the unit needs to be controlled, and I think it's about to control right now.
Yes, so the image acquisition is done by Vision, by Ethernet. But here we also integrated the unit with EtherCAT, and this gives us the possibility to control each light channel individually. So we can simply change the value, and you see that the color of the image changes. And another cool thing with the liquid lens, we can also focus on different planes. So now we focus on the top level. Now this object becomes sharp, and if we step down our pyramid here, we can see now this is in focus, and the other levels as well. And it's directly available because of our additional EtherCAT integration, and it's very easy to use.
I think this is always our clear vision, to use all the data we have inside the PLC, and with EtherCAT, I mean, it's so easy then to operate this. Now, I think your job is not done yet, Michael, because whenever we finish one idea or one request from the customer, we have another thing in mind. So let's take a look into the year 2026. What are you working on as we speak?
Yeah, we will provide a function that supports our polarization cameras. So it's a special sensor that needs to be demosaiced and prepared for an image. Then we have a trained neural network for optical character recognition, OCR.
Oh, tough word for us Germans.
So this gives us, it's much more powerful, so it gives us benefits of less or no pre-processing, and also has the capability to detect small letters.
Okay. And you would finally, like to give the buzzword Linux, correct?
Yes, that's what we're also working on, to provide TwinCAT Vision for Linux, that also this operating system is supported now.
Yeah, perfect, because this actually will close the loop. Because we started earlier this week with the Linux distribution we have for real time and all the functions we have. So you are the next in line, basically, to get your function adapted to Linux. Well, thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
I think it's time to close up the week. We will try to make our way through the visitor groups. You may remember that Frederike talked about our international guests, so we are really happy to welcome the visitors out here. And if I look around the corner, I have Felix with me.
Finished.
And I think there is a question
say
open.
yes.
So let's take a look. Hello, good morning. Hi Simon, good to see you. So what is still open?
There is actually no question open.
No question.
I just wanted to know, Simo, where are you from?
I'm from Beckhoff, Finland.
Okay, so it means you are Finnish, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
That applies for us as well. So thank you, Simo.
Oh my goodness, this is a cool joke.
It was obvious because Simo came by.
Okay, so
We had
we
a
are
project
finished now.
recently.
Well, we're finished for the moment. We appreciate that you joined us. We appreciate everybody around us who helped us to get this broadcast done this week. That sound, camera, all the
Our
people who
wonderful
worked in the back
interview
offices.
partners, our wonderful Roland, our moderators, Thomas, Merle, behind the camera.
Thomas, Merle, let's go around. No,
Yeah.
you move for a little moment. We will come back. So one guy here, one guy there.
Julian.
Good enough. There's another chance to see us again because we will be back next November, right? This year, November.
That's where the SPS trade show typically is.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us. It was a pleasure that we were able to broadcast for you. Stay healthy, be optimistic, and join us next time. Thank you.
Chaka.
Bye-bye.